Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We're running a little bit late. We had a couple technical difficulties, but we think we got those sorted. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We are covering Lyme disease. There are over 300 cases reported to the CDC every year with new cases of Lyme disease. And unfortunately, the number is much higher because many people go through life, not never being properly diagnosed. And so those numbers are much higher than the 300,000. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Andrea Ebert. I'm a wellness advocate. I educate on the concept of biohacking the body through the use of nutrigenomics. And I'm a part of a team. And we are pioneering this breakthrough, which uses 5 natural herbs and compounds that work in a certain synergy to activate the body's nrf2 pathway. And that basically gets the body to repair itself at a cellular level. So it's just really genius, really, really futuristic, and again, using all natural herbs and compounds. My guest today, I have a wonderful guest. Hi, Andre. Thanks for watching the kids. In addition to her own personal battle, my guest today is Natalie Spaeth. She brings a breadth of knowledge on Lyme disease. Natalie studied pre-med, and she is a Lyme coach under Dr. Nicola Ducharme, LLMD. Dr. Nicola Ducharme is an internationally acclaimed doctor specializing in Lyme disease. She is a naturopathic doctor. She has her own facility called Restore Medicine in California and has authored 4 books on the subject of Lyme. So just a phenomenal resource. And we'll actually tag Restore Medicine in this post at the end so that anyone can go back to it and use that as a resource if you have Lyme disease. Again, if you have any friends who have Lyme disease, if you know anyone, please tag them in this post because there's going to be a wealth of knowledge with my guest today. My guest, Natalie, has actually battled Lyme disease herself, and she's at the other end coaching people now. Now, Natalie was bedridden for 3 years. She was on IVs. I posted a picture right before I announced this live. And, you can just see her in the picture as well. She is with her beautiful fiance. She is just engaged this week. So congratulations, Natalie. And I'm going to bring her on in just a minute. Let me see. So Natalie should be here. Natalie is just a beautiful person. She's beautiful inside and out. And she has been through so much. Hello, it works. Natalie's been through so much that you just want the very best for her. And, it just seems, you can see her now. She's thriving. She's beautiful. She's in love. And she has a whole future ahead of her. So Natalie, with that, I'll give the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much. So yeah, I will start by sharing a bit of my journey with Lyme and what we tried prior to coming across nrf1 and nrf2. At the time of starting to get a lot of the Lyme symptoms, I was studying biology in school, and I basically pieced all of the symptoms together, and we were going through Lyme disease in a lecture in one of my classes. And at that time, that's when I was starting to get a lot of the paralysis in the intestine and a lot of the different neurological symptoms that are caused from Lyme disease and co-infections. And so once I did get diagnosed, I started about 3 years of just everything, and the treatment was about 180 grand in total. We had done everything from the start of oral antibiotics to Rife therapy to having a hyperbaric chamber donated at our house, which was such a blessing. I tried UVLRX IV treatment. I've tried, when I say everything. And so it was about 3 years. And then it got to the point of needing the IV therapy at home 8 hours a day with the IV feeding through my port, because there was just no nerve intervention to my intestine. And so in that 3-year journey, I learned a lot on all of these different things and kind of how the disease processes work and how it's just so different in everyone. And once I came across the NRF1 and the NRF2, I was really at a point where even walking to the bathroom, I needed assistance, and I would need to be sitting on the floor in the kitchen if I was cooking an egg, or everything was just needing help. My
And
brain
Natalie,
function was
tell them how
yeah.
old you are. This is not normal.
Yeah. So this is not normal. Right now I'm 25. This was about 22, but most of my life, like leading up to this, I was super, super active, did dance team, surfed, rode bikes, rock climbing, all that fun stuff. And so the kind of like the hit of the decline was truly to like just living in bed and not having any mental energy, any physical energy, and not being able to even metabolize foods. And if you kind of look at like the disease and how it works on a cellular level, it really affects your cell's energy. And so when I came across NRF1 and NRF2, I was on my 18th week in bed on the IV feeding and the IV antibiotics. And it's funny because when I came across this through Facebook, through a friend who was able to have a healthy baby on IVIG and in using this in conjunction, I was like, what is this? Like, and she just said, it's giving me a ton of energy. And I was like, okay, now what? And it's so funny because she went on vacation that weekend and I was just like hovering, like, and so I started researching the heck out of this and researching what this means as far as NRF1 and NRF2. And from my initial understanding, it was A, lowering oxidative stress, and B, helping with inflammation inside the body. And with Lyme and a lot of chronic kind of like insidious diseases, inflammation is just the root of it all. And it's why you get like symptoms of headaches or chronic nausea or joint pain, or I mean, it could go as thyroid or, all these different parts of the body because the root of it is inflammation and oxidative stress. And so
Exactly.
for me, I took it within like the second night. I remember I was able to walk in the middle of the night to get water, and I was like at the water station super fast, and I was like, something's happening. I was able to decide what kind of tea I wanted, which that like Lyme alone, you are so brain fogged with cognitive processing that those little decisions with Lyme are so difficult. And that was also the first like I could decide things. I could decide what music I wanted to listen to. I could tolerate sound and light a bit better. I could tolerate clothes again. By that fourth day, I was able to drive and walk, and not walk, but drive to my parents' studio and work for like 3 hours. And then I was just getting like all of these different things, and I started making a list. And that major thing on that initial list was that my IVs were starting to have less side effects, and the foods that I was able to start eating once I was off that IV feeding within that first week, I was able to metabolize those foods better and metabolize my own Lyme treatment better. And so from there, it was like an initial aha moment, really across the map, still with taking the things I needed to take and still with doing the proper detox methods that one takes when they're holistically treating like a chronic illness or a serious illness needing a lot of detox. And
Right.
so I had like that, I had a pretty quick like notice in my own body. And then I was off the IVs within 2 weeks. I was able to start surfing and going to dance class, and I was starting to have less side effects on a lot of the different things, still having side effects, which when I say less initially, that's still a big deal. And so I was able to switch to oral antibiotics, oral antiparasitics, and antifungals while taking the NRF1 and the NRF2, and I was able to function. And so that was the major thing for the first few months. And then by month 5, I noticed on the NRF1 and the NRF2, I was able to come out of a 5-year menopause. And there's a whole story behind that too, but basically with the NRF1 and the NRF2, it activates those cells. So those protein pathways activate upregulated mitochondrial energy, which is cellular energy, and then it downregulates the oxidative stress. And so when my brain was also having lessened, alleviated inflammation, my all of those like signals were starting to work again, which is also why it's so good for people who have just extreme sensitivities to sound and light, or it could be great for conditions of just anything of the brain that have just severe different kinds of like pathway blockages. Not saying it will, but it has the ability to, with looking at the 23 peer-reviewed research articles and all of the different kinds of patents that we have. And so that was like month 5, coming out of a 5-year menopause. And then throughout last summer, it was just a consistent, still needing to treat things and manage, but still having my life back and having the ability to commit to, oh, do you hear that scratching?
Yeah, just slightly.
Huh. I'm so
Maybe
sorry.
I'll mute my end. No, no worries.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
you go ahead.
So yeah,
I'll mute my end.
I think it's better now. It could have been something around here, but I think we're good now. I think we're good now. So yeah, so throughout the summer, it did allow me to actually even hold a job 30 hours a week on my feet in retail and still be on the massive like Lyme pharmaceutical grenade, and still taking these 2 different things. And they're also, which I wanted to kind of talk about, there's also an nrf2 drink activator, which is incredible for kids and for other people who, anyone, I mean, I take it, but
It's our
kind of
favorite.
pairing these different things. Yeah, pairing these different things has just been extremely powerful as far as having a tool in the toolbox to get through the treatment for Lyme. And I mean, overall, with it lowering the oxidative stress and upregulating mitochondrial function, it's allowing just across the map me to detox better, because you look at the PubMed research, it shows that it opens up phase 2 of detox. It also helps your body produce natural antioxidant enzymes, in which they're those enzymes that your body should be making, but with age and with disease and with other kinds of oxidative stressors, you're not going to be producing these enzymes. And so those 3 enzymes that the NRF1 and the NRF2 activate are glutathione, catalase, and SOD. Glutathione is huge for needing detox, because with Lyme, your liver is getting a little bit clogged and you're not able to produce as much glutathione. This is very common for a lot of these other autoimmune conditions. So things like autism's cancer, or autism, cancer, and Lyme, so on and so forth. And so the PubMed research shows that it actually activates glutathione production by 300% within your first 3 months, which is huge. And so overall, the NRF2 and the NRF1 paired together with this synergy and ratio of herbs, what it does is it is activating your body versus a form of supplementing. And so I was able to get off about 70 of the supplements I was trying to take every day, even with severe gastroparesis. And I'm not needing, I mean, I was living on enemas because I was so neurologically impaired. I wasn't needing those. I wasn't needing laxatives and all the other things that I was needing to just have my body function normally. And so it's really like just a tool in the toolbox, but it's through this idea of biohacking and really truly altering gene expression using this plant-based medicine. And so that's my story. Like you said, now that I am on this side and managing well, I am Lyme coach under Dr. Nicola DeCharm, helping navigate the ropes and cables with patients day to day. And I could not be any more grateful. I know that God uses all of us, and I know how hard it is for
Yeah.
patients to go through this and for families to go through this and try so many things. And I share just to give what's
Oh,
worked for me, and I just pray for those who are out there who are looking for something new and are open to learning about this, because it could also be wonderful for them as well.
now, Natalie, I wanted to go back a little bit. So
Yes.
had $180,000 in Lyme treatment, right?
Yes.
And you were in bed on these IVs. Now, can you explain to the viewers why, when you're taking these Lyme medications, how it's actually burdening your body and actually creating more oxidative stress as it's working to heal itself?
Yeah, of course. So with treating Lyme, which means it's kind of confusing, but many who have Lyme disease, it's not just Lyme, it's Lyme and co-infections. And so with whatever tick or spider or flea bit them comes different kinds of it comes with malarial types of subspecies and parasites. And then it can get to the place where your immune system's very deficient. And so with the treatment, it is a broad spectrum of either herbal antimicrobials and antiparasitics and things like that, or pharmaceutical. And so, dependent on it being a pharmaceutical grenade of the kill, or an herbal grenade, or a rife grenade, this, and that, it causes something called a Herxheimer response in the body, and it's also known, if you look on Google, as a healing crisis. And so, dependent on the patient's level of infectious load, the amount that they're able to detox, and the amount of the dosage of the killing that they're going in on, they will have what's known as a Herxheimer reaction. And that reaction is, in layman's terms, a flu-like reaction. People who don't have Lyme, I kind of explain it as it being feeling like a massive hangover, but dependent on what the person is going through, I've been seeing patients seize to throwing up to bed in a dark room for many months, could be years, could be a few days. And it's very devastating because there isn't much education for these patients or their families to understand that when their daughter may be taking an antibiotic and they're just kind of starting out, it's not necessarily like an antibiotic like you take when you're taking for like a regular strep throat infection. It's that same antibiotic, but it could be causing this poor little girl a massive Herxheimer reaction, and she may be getting that die-off reaction that is causing an influx of extra symptoms at the time. And so typically patients do get a bit worse before they get better. And there's many theories with the different LLMDs as far as kill faster and you'll get rid of this faster, or
Exactly.
or there's the theory of like kill what you can, detox, and keep on going. And so yeah, it is that hurts. They're not fun, and that was like the major thing. That is the major thing with the NRF1 and the NRF2. It does actually allow the body to detox a lot more efficiently, and it does allow the killing to kind of not be as daunting.
Now, I'm going to go back.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to bring Natalie
Yeah.
on again. So yes, we don't claim, sorry about that interruption. We don't claim to cure, prevent, or mitigate. Yeah, we're back. Perfect. Thank you. We don't claim to cure, prevent, or mitigate any disease. And we encourage people to be their own advocate for their health. But I had one
Yeah.
more question
So
for you,
a
Natalie,
lot of the
because when you
times,
describe your
it's
symptoms,
quite genetic
you talk
as
about
far
light
as a
sensitivity,
lot of
you talk about like be able to
With
handle any
autism, you
noise,
have the
including your own
MTHFR
voice.
gene defect, and
And
a
just
lot
kind
of
of being
people
in
who
that
get
state where
hit
you
with
are
Lyme and
almost
have it affect
antisocial
them
because that is
also
just
have
unbearable
this.
to you.
It's very
And
common to have
when you
the
were describing those
MTHFR
symptoms to
gene
me, and
defect,
then later
and
I
so in
heard
that
you
defect, you're not
discussing with
able to
Dr.
naturally
Nicola Ducharme
produce
about
our
the
God-given
the cross
antioxidants
connection
like
between autism
SOD,
and Lyme
superoxide
disease.
dismutase, and
Can you clarify that a bit?
glutathione and catalase. And so the reason why this is so good is it upregulates the SOD, catalase, and glutathione exponentially, and taking it and also using the synergy of the blend here. And we can also get into another live next time on kind of the links between the two. A lot of the symptoms are quite similar, and it's also why you may see one Lyme patient kind of as one subset and then another, because it really is like also a spectrum. So we can kind of go into that next time, but yeah. Dr. Nika is also specialized. She specializes in the Lyme and autism kind of breakdown, and works with a lot of the patients in those different communities. And so I'll also reach back out to her, and we can do another live and just kind of keep this ball rolling.
I would love that. Yes. Let's do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be perfect. This is something I feel that everyone needs to know. And again, it's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It's so beautiful. We're almost overthinking it. It's such a, um,
Yeah,
five
and
natural
I'll
herbs and
kind of,
compounds
before we
working
do
in a
go, I wanted to
synergy
clarify
to
too,
open up
like
this pathway in the
many
body.
of
And it
the
makes you have
ingredients
faith
in
again
the
because,
NERF 1
you're
and NERF
looking
2 are
around and
all
everyone
things
is sick.
that I took, and a lot of the things
And
that
we're
many
almost
Lyme
normalizing
patients
it. We're
take
treating like it's normal. We're having
individually.
special school
So maybe
classes for
next time I'll
children with
kind of go
autism,
over
special this,
how
special
and like
that,
why it's
all these
different
things.
than just taking each
And
of them
we need to
differently.
stop and say, well, why is
And
this
same for
happening?
both Lyme and
And
autism.
where do we go wrong?
So that'll be
That
good
everybody's
too.
well,
But
everyone's
yeah,
sick, and it's so
we
beautiful
are in a
that those
time
answers
where
are still
there's a
there.
lot of these different things on the rise, and one may say it's the vaccine, or one may say it's the our environment with heavy metals, and some do say it's chemtrails. There's a lot of different theories out there, but yeah, there's an accumulation of all of it, but when it gets down to it, it's our body's ability to detox, and so we are, what we digest, we are what we can detox as well, and so if we're taking something that's helping upregulate both on both sides, it's gonna it's gonna alleviate a lot of the different things in the body that are kind of reacting, whether it's the joint pain or the fibromyalgia or whatever kind of stage you're in with Lyme, or
Combination.
really just things across the map. I do want to answer Jeanette's question real fast, if you don't mind. She said, do you know if Lyme can manifest in its symptoms in stages? And so I my theory is you have kind of like these layers of Lyme, and it's all where you, like in your immune system, where you're at. And so if some doctors will be like, oh, you have stage 3 neuro Lyme. And it's all dependent on if you're able to like naturally
No, please.
just have certain functions of your body work. Many of the doctors say you're in stage 3 when you're having the severe sound and light sensitivity and you're starting to forget where you are, and you're having just like the bad insomnia and different things like that. But I believe that you can go kind of like, you do kind of have these layers where you do treat more predominantly on the Babesia layer, and then you treat on the Borrelia layer, you treat on the fungal layer, dependent on what's most dominant for you and whatever symptoms you're having that at that time, kind of in conjunction with what your blood markers are saying in your regular blood panels. So I think, yeah, I hope that does kind of answer it. I know it's confusing, but I would just encourage you to know that with whatever place that you're in, that your symptoms at the time and having just the routine blood work done and working with your doctor will keep you on that progression that you'll need to be on to keep going forward. Yeah. Yeah, we do have quite a vast array of stories and faces to those stories and testimonies. So
I
those are
love
really
that.
awesome to look
And
at.
if
So yeah,
anyone would
feel
like more
free to
information
reach
on
out to
NRF1
us,
and 2 and
and
how it
direct
can work in your
message
body
or
and the
what
science
have
behind
you.
it,
And we look
please
forward
comment
to doing
below
our
and
next
click add
Facebook
me,
Live
and we will
on
get
autism and
you
Lyme.
on
And
board
thank
to
you
a
so
group
much,
that will explain
Andrea.
the
It really
science
means a
behind
lot
it
for you
and also just kind of give
interviewing.
you some hope and show you some stories of how it can help you and again, how it can help you.
Thank you. We're pretty stoked. All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.